Hi, I'm Morgan, and today I want to talk about an exchange that perfectly encapsulates what it's like to try and communicate with neurotypical people. So this is from Suzanne Collins' Sunrise on the Reaping, chapter 14, page 199. So Plutarch Heavensby says, let's start with the basics. Public opinion is driven by emotion. People have an emotional response to something. Then they come up with an argument for why it logically makes sense, says Plutarch. I don't think that's smart, says Wyatt, looking uneasy. Which I would agree with Wyatt there. Like, that's just not how my brain works. And I can tell that Wyatt, his brain also doesn't work like that. And Hamish in his internal dialogue thinks, I'm sure his calculator brain's appalled by the idea. And we can see from Hamish's thoughts that Hamish does not think like Wyatt thinks. And then Plutarch responds, oh, I didn't say it was smart. I just said it was true. Make the audience feel for you. They'll figure out intellectually why you're the right tribute to support, Plutarch explains. And I understand that from a storytelling perspective as well as from a marketing perspective, but it feels sometimes like that's what it takes to communicate with neurotypical people, where I will logically know something and be trying to communicate that, but then I also have to think about, okay, are they going to be offended if I phrase this directly? Because a lot of times neurotypical people have a tendency to not be very literal or direct with their language, and also just like, there's just the whole issue of like, they want their ego fed sometimes, or there's all this social hierarchy stuff that you have to take into account, and it's a right proper pain trying to figure out how to communicate things in a way to neurotypical people where they'll understand where you're coming from and not get like offended about the fact that you're being like, oh, you're a little bit direct. And I think it's also harder as a woman because sometimes the same behavior that would be seen as like, oh, you're just being assertive if you're a man is seen as, oh, you're being a bitch if you're a woman. So yeah, I absolutely hate having to do the whole route of make the audience feel for you. They'll figure out intellectually why you're the right tribute to support, instead of just going about things being like, here is my opinion, here's why I think this way. It's like you have to communicate things in a way where it's like, this is why I feel this way, which like I've learned over time how to do, but it isn't what comes first nature to me. And then I love Wyatt's response here. He says, but they hate all of us, Wyatt counters. They're watching us kill each other for entertainment. And it's like he is logically countering, thinking this is how the world actually works. He's picked up on that. And then Plutarch waves this away. They don't see it that way. Supporting the Hunger Games is their patriotic duty. And it's like, this is literally how it feels like to talk politics with like anyone. Oh my gosh, because sometimes people will just feel like, oh my gosh, I should feel this way because it's my team, or this is what other people are supporting, instead of thinking individual issues through logically, like each issue separately. And it's just like, this literally feels like what it's like to talk with neurotypical people. Just like the way that their thought processes are different from my own. And I think this book does a good job just in this one little section of communicating that, of showing the difference between how neurotypical people tend to think and communicate versus neurodiverse people, and how, or at least autistic people specifically, because I'm autistic and I tend to be very direct with my communication and the way that I think. And my significant other, who is also autistic, is even more like direct than I am in the way that he communicates, which I think sometimes actually causes issues because I'm more, I'd say even like more touchy-feely with my communication style than him, probably because I've been socialized as a woman. So yeah, I think this perfectly encapsulates the difference in communication style between like neurotypical people and us autistic folks. So yeah, once again, this is from Suzanne Collins' Sunrise on the Reaping, and I hope you have a great day. Bye!